Can he do it? Can he do it? Crosses the line. P1. There it is. First position. Nah, just kidding, lads. I think I was the first bloke to do a hot lap. See, it's already gone. I spent this qualifying session playing in the sand. Pretty bloody good sand they've got in Germany. Must import it from Australia. So there it is. P8 on the left hand side. Just the one hot lap. Didn't manage to finish the second one. Too busy dicking around. But the race bodes a bit better. And I'll tell you what, fellas, you better buckle yourselves in, because it's a rough ride from here on in. Now, the blokes we're going to meet today, good champions, a couple of Kiwis amongst them, racing in the Kiwi profile, repping the Red Stars at the moment, with NK Sylvia leading from the start. Sledgy 81, top bloke, race him often. No, he's not the Stig, another Aussie, coming out of P6. BMW Dan, coming out of P7. Myself, sitting back there in P8, lovely Peugeot. Dasher's going to make a guest appearance, coming out of 9th. And Virtual Deity is going to have the drive of his life out of 15th. As we jump on board for the action now. Lights are green, starting middle of the corner. You've got to be lucky sometimes, and I definitely wasn't lucky. This is the first time I'm ever going to drive a front-wheel drive car in competition, so I don't really know what to expect. Lovely turn one, no one's turned me around, but NK Sylvia's been turned around by the old no internet Miss Donovan, or Mr. Donovan, and he's already back in P7. I think someone else had a loop around there, maybe that McLaren up in front, as he runs wide and he comes on sideways and kills BMW Dan. No, BMW Dan's still in front, he killed someone. And look at that, just a few corners into the race and I'm already up to P4. How lucky can you be? Now, we're going to fast forward a little bit here towards the end of the lap. Not a lot happening. Getting a little bit closer to BMW Dan. NK Sylvia already back up to 5th. Most likely because of all that carnage. And these blokes up front are getting awfully close. We've got a bit of a train forming. Dan goes wide. Back down into normal speed. Down into the chicane. That chicane. Old no internet. Jumps the chicane, bumps into Sledgy, backs up Dan, and we're going to come down into the main straight as lucky as you can be. These blokes getting all argy-bargy, and I get a nice drive off that corner. A little bit of slipstream. BMW Dan running out of horsepower. The slipstream into full effect. And that's P3. And under brakes real hard. P2, go wide, leave the apex open for those blokes that are battling. And BMW Dan comes out in 3rd, and I've done the double overtake down the straight, feeling pretty good about myself. I was going to be happy with the top 5 finish, and seeing myself at P2, it's getting a bit nervy as Donovan starts doing the magic no internet dance. Gonna defend here against Dan. Not too bad. Like I was saying, oh Dan, don't think he meant that. I think he's having a bit of internet issues, as we're gonna see shortly. Now from here, I've got a nice little train forming behind me. Now I don't mind letting the quick blokes go past. I just don't want to lose race time. Like I said, a top 5 finish is probably pretty good for me. P2 maybe a little bit out of my league at this point. But BMW Dan on the attack again. And once again, I think his internet bumps me. I'm not sure he's actually bumping me. but he gets a penalty for his troubles, and I'm back down into the third without the lap being completed. Sledgy81, he's the next bloke in the queue that wants to have a look at me. 2 seconds off the leaders, 2 laps down. If you told me that before the race started, I'd be pretty happy. As we try not to get any penalties jumping that. Got the line all wrong. Gonna lose a bit of time. Sledgy, what's he gonna do? 2 tenths back. He's gonna wait for the slipstream on the main straight maybe. Get a nice drive out of there. Looks like Donovan and BMW Dan have gapped it. BMW Dan should come back to me with the penalty. As that, we've still got a train sitting behind me, a bunch of blokes waiting to get past. Sledgy deep under brakes, never going to make that. I tried to chase him out there. Lotus Evora goes past as we jump back in the queue. Evora running wide. Gonna go up the inside here. And he runs wide there, and I think he disappears, and I get real rude here and cut him off on the apex. I didn't think he was going to come back. And that pushes me wide. So NK gets the job done on both of us around there. Evora around the outside again. Just going to let him pass because he's got this penalty anyway. No use trying to fight a bloke that's going to drop a few seconds. And there you go, BMW Dan has served his penalty and I haven't got any closer to him. That's how much bullshit was going on. Not the Stig, the next bloke in the queue that's going to have a look at me. Has NK, looks like he's catching Dan. Donovan gapped it out the front. Now you might have noticed in the bottom left hand corner, running the racing hards and racing mediums. I noticed in qualifying, as we catch BMW Dan, I think his internet's dropped out and he's gone into safe mode as he unghosts right in front of me. We'll take P3 back. Yeah, the mediums can barely do 2 laps in qualifying, so I thought I'd split the axles here and go hards and mediums. This race before the GTR race, coincidentally, seemed to manage this one a bit better. As we're up into P3, lap 3. Probably too early in apex there. The race is starting to settle down somewhat. No internet Donovan out the front. Sylvia trying to catch him. BMW Dan is probably going to look to overtake me for the millionth time this race in just 3 laps. At the moment he's guarding not the Stig for me. As I try and gain some composure. Those front tyres are on the way out already and we're only into lap 4. Really struggling to make any of these apexes. The car not turning in. Maybe carrying a bit too much speed. Maybe not braking early. Maybe just got no idea how to drive a front wheel drive. And maybe just no idea in general. So we try and consolidate. This is a solid C and B lobby. So maybe some high C's, low B guys. So I was feeling pretty chuffed that I was at the front of the queue. As we have a look at the track map, once again we got 3 blokes lining up behind me, all waiting for their turns. Trying to focus on a little bit of everything here. Learning how to drive the front wheel. Learning how to manage the fuel at the same time. Looks like feels good. It's BMW Dan gets the greatest drive through there and again gives me a love tap. I just could not get through that section of corners, whether I tried or not. I leave the inside open for him so he can run past. Doesn't look like he wants to take it, but not the Stig does, as we go 3 abreast through there. Not sure there's room for 3. Not the Stig, almost losing out. Getting some negative SR from a trouble. BMW Dan, internet coming and going as his car moves all over the shop. And his hazard lights are on again. His brakes are his hazards. I never know if he's got internet or not as he slides out of there. Not the Stig going to go up the inside, but BMW Dan's going to block him. And BMW Dan once again, I think his internet got me, as that queue of blokes that were looking to get past me have an attempt at getting past, and BMW Dan is now gone. I think his internet is gone completely, so we're not going to have to battle him. Focus on staying with Not the Stig, as Dasher looks like he's the next man that wants to trade paint. As we're into lap 5, gonna go for lap 6 with these tyres. That's why I had the hards. We're gonna go hards, mediums on each axle for the first stint. We'll go full mediums for the second stint. Fuel doesn't look like it's going to be an issue at this point. And if we can stay in the top 5, I'd be more than happy. Outside the top 5, probably going to be a disappointing race after these opening few laps, especially getting up into P2 there for a couple of minutes. So we try and learn the lines. Here comes Dasher. Leave the open inside because I'm waiting for a nice dive, and he does look a bit quicker, so I'll give him some room, but he's not going to take it. Or is he? Does take it. But then he doesn't get any drive out of that corner, so that's the only chance I'm going to give him for now. As we're back to my worst sequence of corners, I do not know how to get a front wheel drive through here at all. Dasher obviously being cautious as he's dropped off the back. As the race seems like it's starting to settle down now. NK Sylvia's taken the lead again, so he's obviously caught and passed Donovan. Old no internet Donovan. He has no bars at all. God knows how he's playing. I think he's using the old telegraph lines. Not conducive for carrying internet. As we run a little bit wide here, is that going to give Dasher what he needed? Yes, it looks like he's going to get the run out of here, or maybe he's stuffed his exit. Looks like he's starting to float back. Might leave the apex open in case he's going to go for the late dive. He doesn't. Ever the gentleman. Plenty of blokes I know would have just rammed it up the inside there and sent me flying. As it looks like Not the Stig has opened up himself a comfortable gap. 2.5 seconds up the road already. And here's Donovan's move. Not Donovan. Dasher. Dasher makes the move. Not a bad move it was. These tyres deep inside their 6th lap. Not really liking it now. Every time I go to turn in, the car just doesn't respond. Sledgy81's the next bloke that looks like he's going to have a move in that queue. As we fast forward through this little bit here, Sledgy is about to line up and have a move, I think. He's coming from a long way back, sticks his nose in the picture just there. Won't be the first, probably not the last, as I just cannot get around this corner. Pulled out to 5/10, but he's closed that up already. And I don't really want to get punted going through the chicane up here, so I'm going to lift off early and let Sledgy through, because I'm coming into the pits anyway. And after I let him through, I thought, oh, he's going to go into the pits too, but he doesn't. So Sledgy electing to stay out, and I'm back down in 6th. I've lost my top 5 position. We put on a set of mediums, come out in 8th. Now there's no one around, so I'm not going to sit and make you watch that. But as we move on to the hot lap, as we move on to the end towards that lap, Sledgy has come in and he has pitted. I think he's going to put some fuel and some hards on. And he probably should have pitted that lap, because as we come past the pits, right now Sledgy's nowhere to be seen, and as we come down into turn 1, he's going to be about 2.5 seconds back, so he's missed his run on the pit stop. And at the end of that lap, that was a nice little tidy lap. Purple sectors everywhere. We're going to come across the line for the fastest lap of the race. Fortunately, it doesn't hold. It does get pipped by less than a tenth in the end. As later on the 9th lap, Virtual Deity is going to make a mistake down into the chicane, and that is going to allow me to close on him. So from 15th to 5th, his race was going really well. Sort of parks it on the apex, blocking me a little bit, and that allows Sledgy to close up. So we shoot down the straight. So it looks like the race is on for 5th. We've got myself, Virtual Deity and Sledgy81 all wanting a top 5 finish. Unfortunately, not all of us are going to get one. There's 2 laps to go now. Not the Stig. Looks like Dorvan or Donovan or whatever his name, Mr. No Internet up the front, has made a mistake, and Not the Stig has got past him. As Sledgy now has got past Virtual Deity. So the top 5 settled in. We're going to fast forward to the end of lap 10. As Sledgy closes in. I run deep in this hairpin, almost onto the grass. You may remember I do that in the GTR as well. And this has given Sledgy everything he wanted. He closes in. Like I said, I still can't get through there. 5/10 lead on the way in, only a 10th on the way out, and here's the move. He's got the move done before we get here, and so there it is, 5th. So the plan here is to sit on Sledgy's rear bar and see if he can tow me. I've noticed on the track map that those guys in front are getting ever closer to us. They must have ran no stoppers on hards. There you can see them. Now this is where the mediums are going to be put to work. So we come around in the last lap. Looks like Virtual Deity, he's dropped off the back. He's 3.5 seconds back. Sledgy runs wide, might give me an opportunity to close. Get a little bit of a slipstream, and there you go. You can see those guys at the end of the street. End of the straight, in touching distance. If those blokes make even the slightest of mistakes, we're going to have a nice shot at them. As Sledgy runs deep again. I'm doing my best to stay on his rear bar. Front tyres screaming they've had enough. I was half hoping Sledgy got a penalty there and I'd get a free place for nothing. So I'd take it nice and easy in there. I've learnt from all my days of running wide. As we're inside 7/10 to Sledgy. The cars in front getting ever closer. It's the last lap, so we don't have all the time in the world to catch them. But we are catching them quick enough by the looks of it. So we're halfway through the lap. I feel like I could put my hand out the windscreen and touch those guys. As the No Internet's tyres must be completely gone. And Not the Stigs must be even worse, because I swear the last time we had a look at those guys, they were the other way around. Now, if only I could have got through there. You see, we just drop off the back of Sledgy through there. If anyone wants to let me know in the comments of how to get through there in a front wheel drive, it'd be greatly appreciated. And look, there it is. We've got nothing, 3-4 corners to go tops, and we're forming our own little train. The only pity is I'm on the end of it, the last carriage. Now anything can happen down into the chicane. These blokes could drop it. And it looks like No Internet has dropped it, has he? No, he hasn't, but Not the Stig may have. As Sledgy's going to make the move of all moves. Come on Sledgy, you know you want to do it. Do it, son. And he's done it, and that's going to give me the chance for a podium, is it? No, I get cut off. Not the Stig cuts me off, and I don't get the run to the line. The finish line is just too close, and P5 it is. But what a race, starting 8th. The best I really could have hoped for was a top 5 finish. Made it there in the end just. As we have a look at the results, Virtual Deity has lost half a dozen places on the last lap, poor bloke. NK Sylvia back to the top of the field where he belonged, had it on pole, he probably had that in the bag, 22 seconds, he had it easy actually. But the battle for second it was, covered by just 3 seconds. But there it is fellas, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. If you got advice on front wheel drives, put them in the comments. You made it to the end of the video, give it the thumbs up. And if it's your first time here, subscribe. Otherwise fellas, you know how it goes. Pack her up boys, and I'll see you later.